This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 1. And he answered me, saying, The Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it giveth much mold, whereof earthly vessels are made. But little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world. There be many created, but few shall be saved. Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakal Quadash, Barak a thumb to the sincere Akim out there that's preaching his word of sincerity and in truth, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone taught us this truth. And in today's lesson, I'm getting to how this current world that we live in was made for many. This earth is covered in wickedness, and wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. Pursuant to Job 9:24, when the scriptures say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So under the vibration of Esau, the so-called white man, the red Hebrew Edomite, wickedness is everywhere. So wickedness was created for many people, because many people are going to partake in what? Judgment, being destroyed. But the world to come is a world based upon righteousness, which that world was created for few. And that few is what? The elect, that fine precious gold that's scattered throughout the four corners of the earth amongst dust, which dust has no value. The true value of the earth is the elect. The elect are the Heavenly Father's chosen. That's the treasure of the earth, who the Heavenly Father is going to deliver. 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 1. And he answered me, saying, The Most High have made this world for many. So this current world that we're in was created for many. And they say it's roughly about 7.53 billion people on the earth. Now the reason why the Most High has so many spirits on the earth is because they're here to receive judgment. Either you're here for two things. Either you're here for salvation, or you're here for destruction. Back in 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 1. And he answered me, saying, The Most High, which is Yahweh, the Creator, the Father, who the world calls God himself, Yahweh, the power above all powers, the only power. And he answered me, saying, The Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. What's the world to come? The world to come is the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom based upon righteousness, and that world was created for few. That few is the elect. 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 2. I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it giveth much mold, whereof earthly vessels are made. So this earth produces much mold, where earthly vessels are made. Like they say, it's about 7.53 billion people on the earth. That's much mold. Mold created for destruction. It says, But little dust that gold cometh of. And gold is a rare substance. It's a mineral that has to be searched out. You can't just walk up and down the street and find a vessel of gold just sitting around. So that is very precious in this world of wickedness, which is what? The righteous, the elect. But little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world. And it says, There be many created, but few shall be saved. So there be many created in this current world that we're in. It says roughly about 7.53 billion people on the earth. Out of those 7.53 billion on the earth, majority of them are going to be put to death. And the Heavenly Father is going to what? Save his elect. Those are the few that are going to be saved. That's the little dust that is likened unto gold. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So the Heavenly Father is saying he's going to make a man more precious than fine gold. And is this any man? No, this is an Israelite man, and an Israelite man of the elect will be made more precious than fine gold, because the Heavenly Father is purifying his elect men on the earth through the trials and tribulations that they go through to what? Become that fine gold. This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. So the Heavenly Father's found his elect acceptable to what? Go through the furnace of adversity to be purified. So you won't have to catch the judgment that the vessels of many are going to receive, which is what? The nuclear destruction. And various other ways, the famine, the martial law. But what? The Heavenly Father is going to have a hedge and a protection around his elect, because they are likened unto very precious fine gold. This is Romans chapter 9, verse 6. Not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Now we know that Israel, coming from the Hebrew word Yashar'Allah, is the prince of the power. That's the Heavenly Father's chosen nation. So they will be considered the elect. But this says not all Israel which are of Israel, because even though the Heavenly Father ultimately chose the whole nation, he's only dealing with his elects, because you have an elect within the elect. And that's talking about what? The first spirits that were created, the elect of the Most High, which are what? The first spirits that were created by Yahweh Shai. Romans chapter 9, verse 6. Not as though the word of the Most High had taken an effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. So you have the Israel of the 2/3, which they would be considered the earthly vessel, whereof much mold cometh of. But guess what? The elect of the elect, which is what? The 144,000 will be considered the little dust that gold cometh of, which is what? The precious first fruits of the Spirit, the first spirits created. Romans chapter 9, verse 6. Not as though the word of the Most High have taken an effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Because 2/3 are going to be cut off and die on this side, but the 144,000 and the 1/3 are going to be what? Delivered and receive that salvation. That's why we read back in 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 3. There be many created, but few shall be saved. So there are many people created, but the few that are going to be saved is the elect, the 144,000, the first spirits created, and the 1/3. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 31. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. So everything we see is going to pass away. Like we said, this world was created for many, and everything we see that was created for many will pass away. This is 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So we're not to love the things of this world, because like we read in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 31, and they that use the world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. So everything we see is going to be passed away. It's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. So back in 1 John chapter 2, verse 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of Yahweh by Shema Shai abideth forever.